This news update is brought to you by...
Got kids? Then you need video on demand from Flow, with hours of entertaining shows and movies for boys and girls of all ages. There's always something to watch. Simply press the VOD button on your Flow remote. This is how we do TV. This is how we Flow.
This is the Barbados Today morning news update for Tuesday, January 12th. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. The Barbados Workers Union is calling for a settlement to monies owed to workers of the Barbados Water Authority. General Secretary of the BWU, Tony Moore, says the matter dates back a decade. Moore told reporters it is not related to a wage increase, but rather an agreement from the BWA's Board of Management pertaining to a job evaluation at the time.
It is easy for it to be felt that the Barbados Water Authority or the workers at the Barbados Water Authority are making demands on a financial system that is already very challenged. What will not be known is that the management, the board and management of the Water Authority had committed to honoring the payments to the workers going back to 2006. It may easily be felt by members of the public, especially within the context of workers 2 years ago losing their jobs, workers in the public service, and more recently with members of the public not getting the water, that there is some linkage between the issues, and that's something that I would really want to address.
Environmental Health Officer at the Randall Phillips Polyclinic, Deborah Nurse-Batson, is calling on the public to practice proper waste disposal methods to control the rodent population. Nurse Batson made the call during a presentation on the types of vector and rodent-related diseases at the American University of Barbados School of Medicine yesterday. She admitted she could not state whether the occasional pile-up of garbage across the island or the illegal dumping resulted in an increased rodent population. But according to her, they are contributing factors.
In Barbados right now, we're having a problem with rats, and rats are encouraged because of usually our habits, the practice of humans, where we don't practice the store, or what do you say, I'm trying to find some, right. We don't practice proper storage of our garbage or proper disposal. All of these things lead to the encouragement of rodents.
The Ministry of Transport and Works is expected to carry out a scientific study of the temporary road at White Hill St. Andrew following the appearance of cracks in the road. And Minister of Transport and Works Michael Lashley is assuring residents that he may receive a report within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The St. Philip North MP made the disclosure at the monthly meeting of the St. Michael East branch of the Democratic Labour Party on the weekend. He says the cracks were likely due to the settling down of the newly laid road surface. In sports, Barbados Pride suffered a 2-wicket loss to Jamaica Scorpions in their third Group A round game of the Regional Super 50 at Queen's Park Oval. Pride were 138 all out of 45.5 overs. Kevin Stout top scored with 39, while Mario Rampasod made 20. The Scorpions made 139 for 8 of 38 overs. Andre McCarthy led with 49 and Devon Thomas made 33. This was Barbados' second loss in as many days in the series. On Saturday, the hosts Trinidad and Tobago Red Force beat their rivals by 9 wickets.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The Niki Music Festival presents 5 amazing shows from January 13th to 17th, 2016. On January 13th at Holders, we salute Urban Burgee with Island in the Sun by Stefan Walcott's 1688 Big Band. On the 14th, our free Sunset Concert at Frank Cullimer Hall with the Rudy Smith Quartet. Reggae legend band Aswad takes over Holders on January 15th. On January 16th, the Nicholas Branker Orchestra and Grammy Award winner Roberta Flack return to Holders. Finally, at Niki on Sunday, January 17th, Caribbean Fusion in the Hills with Edwin Yearwood, Leston Paul, Ras Eiley, and Serenader. Others include Nikita, Mylan Clark, Rhea Driggs, Vanessa Lee, and many more. General admission tickets from $70 and $250 for VIP.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products
news from the region, Trinidadians will be paying more for some food items from next month following reforms to the value-added tax. Government has announced a reduction in VAT from 15% to 12.5%. But Finance Minister Colm Imbert says some items will no longer be zero-rated when the changes take effect. We get the details in this report from TV6 News.
The items that have been removed from zero rating are as follows. Rice, except parboiled and boiled rice. Flour, except all-purpose and wheat flour. Bread, except white and whole wheat bread. Cheese, except cheddar cheese and rennet-free cheese. Peanut butter, salted butter, pasta, cocoa powder, coffee, mobi, orange juice, herring, tuna, mackerel.
Apart from the items that will no longer be zero-rated, the much-talked-about reduction in the VAT rate has been officially put to the Parliament. Minister Imbert stresses that the reduction from 15 to 12.5% was a P&M campaign promise fulfilled. He makes the point that VAT was originally intended to be a broad-based consumption tax, but disproportionate dependence on energy taxes had caused a deviation from the VAT principles. The minister is blaming what he calls an ill-conceived attempt to reduce the cost of living, that is, the zero rating of some 7,000 food items, a measure put in place by the PP government. The VAT registration threshold is to be increased, meaning only larger enterprises will have to pay VAT.
The United States has lifted a ban on the importation of certain vegetables and citrus fruits from the Dominican Republic. The Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service said the move affects 23 of the 30 Dominican provinces where the Mediterranean fruit fly was detected last year. Officials say Dominican producers suffered millions of dollars in losses as a result of the ban. In international news now, Germany has been sending more and more migrants back to Austria since the start of the month. Austrian police say many had no valid documents and others did not want to apply for asylum in Germany but in other countries. The move comes as pressure grows on Chancellor Angela Merkel following New Year's Eve attacks on women in Cologne. The attacks are widely blamed on migrants. Most of those sent back to Austria are not Syrians who are usually granted asylum, but they are mainly from Afghanistan, Morocco and Algeria. And finally, Mexican authorities have released dramatic video showing the moment they closed in on one of the world's most notorious drug lords, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. It shows Marines launching a dawn raid using grenades on the house he was hiding. We get more from the BBC.
They're taken from a camera on the helmet of one of the soldiers going in here. This is a raid on the safe house where he was hiding in his home state of Sinaloa. 5 of his men were killed in this operation. We also learned today that the process to extradite him to the US could take at least a year. An official at the Attorney General's office in Mexico says that he has the right to appeal against extradition. The US has already filed a request to have him extradited to face charges of smuggling vast amounts of drugs into the country. And if you saw that Rolling Stone interview with him that Sean Penn conducted, that wasn't something which he was denying.
And that's this morning's news. Remember, there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune into Channel 101 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news and sports. I am Maricla Williams. Have a good morning.